sort of easy for me to remember my wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
It's like a week after Wade Boggs' birthday.
Down goes Anderson! Down goes Anderson!
Welcome to Goat Collecting. This is episode number 3. I have a special guest here, John, Wade Boggs fan. It is no secret who he personally collects.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name.
If the name didn't give it away, the shirt certainly does, and so does the jerseys in the background. But John, thank you very much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Kyle. Thanks for having me on. I love talking about my Wade Boggs collection, obviously. So, yeah, glad to be on.
Yeah, anybody who names their channel after a specific player that they collect really should be on this series. So I really thank you very much for expressing interest. So obviously Wade Boggs is a very famous personality. Not only is he a Hall of Famer on the field, but he has some interesting stories off the field. What attracted you to collect Wade Boggs?
Yeah. I started collecting back in 1978. Those were the first packs of cards I got with my 50 cents allowance back then, and was hooked ever since.
Mm-hmm.
But from 78 to the late 90s, probably 96 or 97, my collecting consisted of just buying packs of cards and occasionally maybe getting a complete set of tops, maybe Flair or Donruss for either my birthday or Christmas. Maybe I'd put together a set from opening packs, but I just didn't have any direction. I enjoyed my collection and the different cards I had, but I needed something to focus on. And I knew some people collected cards of their favorite team or cards of a player or certain sets or whatever. And I said, okay, what focus can I have? I said, well, it would be interesting project to see if I could get as many different cards of a certain player. So then I had to decide what player. And I had organized my collection up to that point for like the star players. I would separate them and have them organized by name of the big stars, and then my commons I'd have in other boxes. And so I was going through the different players I had cards of, and I came across, obviously alphabetically, Wade Boggs. I'm like, okay. Well, my mom was originally from Massachusetts, so for as long as I could remember, I'd go up to Massachusetts for the summer and for Thanksgiving. And not for Thanksgiving because the season was over, but during the summer for 2 weeks, my grandparents would have the Red Sox game on TV up there. And so it was always, Red Sox, and I've always followed the Red Sox. And so I'm like, oh, well, okay, Wade Boggs was a Red Sox player. By the late 90s, he had already been to the Yankees, and I think either it was his last year with the Yankees or his first year with the Devil Rays. So he was getting toward the end of his career, chance for 3,000 hits. And I always admired players that could hit for a high average and get on base. I was never really into the big home run hitters. To me, all major leaguers are talented. Don't get me wrong. But to me, I'm thinking all you have to do is be big and strong and hit a bunch of home runs. But it takes a lot more talent to hit the gaps and get on base and get hits and doubles and be patient at the plate for getting walks. And so I said, Boggs is my guy. The Red Sox tie, great hitter, underrated fielder. He did win 2 Gold Gloves. And I already had a decent number of Wade Boggs cards already in my collection. I probably had a couple hundred. So I said, all right. So this is around 96 or 97. So it's almost 30 years now that I've been collecting Wade Boggs. And so the first thing I did was go to my local card shop. And I bought every single different Wade Boggs card that he had. And it wasn't a whole lot, maybe about 100 or something like that. So I'm like, okay, well, now what am I going to do? So I started exploring. At that time, I think Yahoo started to have some auctions.
Okay.
Sports. I'm like, okay. And then it was like 98, I think it was the first year, because I've been a member since then. eBay popped up. Well, that opened up a whole new world. I'm like, there are people all over the country I can buy Boggs cards from. So it just exploded from there. And it's interesting.
For any kids watching, eBay did not always exist.
Yeah, right.
So
it was a time before eBay, don't get me started on like emails. I remember first being able to do emails, so I'm that old. But
yeah.
I remember there was back then eBay showed your user ID. Now it's all scrambled and hidden, and you probably don't know who you're bidding against.
Mm-hmm.
But back then you did. And it's funny, there was this one eBay user. He and I would get into epic battles. He was my nemesis. And it turns out that years later, when we formed the Boggs Trust, he's a member of the Boggs Trust and a good friend of mine. We joke about the days when at the time, we thought we overpaid. Mm-hmm. Now, some of those cards, they're super rare and well worth it. But at the time, we're like, oh my gosh, we made each other spend so much money. Now, again, there were other people bidding on, but it was usually just the two of us, and it got pretty heated sometimes.
Now, do you think they should bring that back, or should they?
I don't know. It's probably good that I don't know whether it be a Wade Boggs card or my vintage collection, to know who like sniped me at the last half second.
Yep.
It's probably a good thing. So yeah, it's been close to 30 years now, and I started off with just cards and picking up some memorabilia here and there, but it really wasn't my focus until it was 2012, I think. Beckett magazine.
Yeah.
They announced that they were going to be doing a super collector issue. And if you were a super collector, send the following information to this email, pictures, and this to describe your collection. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So I filled in the information, and I was one of the 8 or 10, I forget how many they had, super collectors that were featured in Beckett magazine. And in that magazine article had my contact information, just my email address. And shortly after, I get this email from this guy, Rich, out near Chicago. And he says, man, I've been collecting Wade Boggs cards for years, and we need to get in touch and stuff like that. And we've been great friends ever since. He's the one who actually created the Boggs Trust. He is the Boggs father. And I may have more Boggs cards and different cards, but on the memorabilia side, he blows everyone away. Well, it was around that time, I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty. So I started maybe increasing my memorabilia collection and picking up oddball items. I'd search eBay. Oh, that's cool. I don't have that. And posters and figurines. And you can maybe see some of them there in the background. Just little knickknacks and stuff. And so I built a memorabilia collection, not anywhere close to Rich's. And I do have some game used stuff as well. But my focus was always
directly over your shoulder, some of the game used stuff.
So right back there, if I can point correct, that is a game used Red Sox cap. And right next to it are 2 Red Sox game used cleats. Now, I bought them directly from Wade Boggs.
Wow.
So I paid him, and he shipped them to me from his house. And then below that, I think, are some Yankees cleats, and one or two game used batting gloves, and then right there I have a game used Red Sox, Yankees, and Double Rays bat,
That's
and other bats that are just signed by him. So my goal one day, you can see these jerseys in the background. They're all, just signed regular jerseys. But one day I hope to get a game used home Red Sox jersey. That would be my ultimate piece of memorabilia. And of course, have Wade sign it.
I mean, you're not far off from having a full mannequin.
I am close. In fact, you see the cardboard cutout there. I actually brought that to last year's National and actually had him sign that. so right in the middle of his jersey there. I don't know if the camera probably won't pick it up, but
yeah, I think it's right off camera.
Wade Boggs Hall of Fame 05. So that was sort of the hit of the Chevy. Everyone was looking like, what do you bring? I'm like, yeah, this big cardboard cut, and it's like life size. It's like 6'2". So over 30 years, I've amassed probably close to, or maybe just over 10,000 total Wade Boggs cards. I stand at 5,623 different cards of those 10,000. And they're all like in the library card catalog behind me by year and set and card number. Just some of the other background, because it's, over 30 years, just like I'm sure you collect and everyone collects, you buy cars and over time, but until you actually look back and see what you've actually amassed as your collection, it sort of, at least it blows me away as to the vast amount of my collection, again, or buying stuff over 30 years. But I have 174 one-of-ones. Now, it may sound like a lot, but I've developed the Boggs checklist, a master checklist over the years. I'm sure I'm missing some cards, but for the most part, I have most of what that's known to be out there. I think he has close to maybe even 3,000 one-of-ones. So it's over the last 10 years or so. It's just everyone is one of one, and it's just one-of-ones have almost become common. I mean, it's so. I was involved where one-of-ones were a big deal.
Yeah. But when you make sets like those milestone sets where, like, I know Tommy has them where it's his home runs and it's all like, 600 home runs or whatever. And there's a card for each home run. And then they number those each where, it's 1 of 25, 1 of 10, 1 of 1. That's, 600 1-of-1s right in that subset. So I totally get that.
Yeah, there's a set from 2008. I think it's an SP Legendary Cuts, Legendary Milestones or something like that, and it has just a game used bat piece, and it's a different. I mean, it'll be like 1986 All-Star selection. Well, then there's an 87 All-Star selection. There's a batted 366 in 1980, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's 99 different one-of-ones just in that insert set right there. And all the different parallels and Leaf. I have something good to say at the end about Leaf. I have an awesome card, so I want to give them props for that. But I hate Leaf products because they have so many parallels, and they have Boggs in them, which is great. But it's multiplayer, so you're competing against so many other like Hall of Famers that are on that card, and it's serial number to 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, 1, and there's like 3 1-of-1, and then there's so many. Like every year that Leaf comes out with sets, I'm adding probably at least 200 or 300 one-of-ones, just from Leaf. It's yeah. So you can't. I learned a long time ago. My goal was to try to get all the different Wade Boggs cards. Then it turned out to be most of the Wade Boggs cards. Then after all these one-of-ones, it's like, all right, let me just keep my head above water and maybe buy some new stuff. And yeah, so I have cut back on, I still increase my collection. I'm still buying Boggs cards. I'll buy some of the new stuff base cards, maybe a couple inserts, nothing super low serial numbered, because I mentioned I have 174 one of ones.
Mm-hmm.
I have over 1,300 cards that are serial numbered out of 2 to out of 10. So for me to go out and spend, and some of these cards listed on eBay, they think they hit the mother load or are trying to get their money back from a box that they opened because they got a Boggs auto out of 25 and want $150 for it. I'm like, no, it's not. Sorry, it's not worth $150. And over 700 certified autograph cards, pack pulled autograph cards, and over 1,100 game used cards, bats, jerseys, patches. Yeah. So, and to show how crazy I am, to be a player collector, you have to have some sort of insanity to you. You have to, because you're just focused on one player. I've seen other YouTubers say, I don't know how people can just collect one player. You have to be a little insane. You do. And I fully admit that. My favorite Topps card of Wade Boggs is his 84 Topps card. Just love the design, the image of Boggs, everything. And so I had a few, and I kept seeing these lots on eBay of, 30, 50, 75, 84 Topps Boggs cards. And they were like dirt cheap. They were like 10, 15 cents each.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, I'll buy that lot. I'll buy that lot. I'll buy it. And then before I knew it, I have like 400. I'm like, well, I got 400. I'm like, well, just 100 more and I'll have 500. Okay, so I buy another lot. I'm like, well, I mean, 500's it's a nice number, but why not shoot for 1,000? So I have just over, with some other ones I had, but through buying lots, I have just over 1,000 1984 Topps Boggs cards. Why? I don't. They weren't that expensive. It's just something crazy to do. It just.
You're not wrong about it being one of his, if not his best card. I do enjoy that set. And of all the cards he has, pose, card design, etc. combination, I think it is up there as one of his best. But still, over 1,000 of those is unbelievable.
Yeah, it takes about at least about 2.5 of those rows, because I have them in groups in little the plastic cases and stuff.
Yeah.
About 2.5 rows of the card catalog back there are just 84 Topps cards.
Unbelievable.
Again, it was just something I decided to do to see if I could do it. And it only took me about 6 months or so, because they're just, I don't know if it was the same dealer or different dealers. They just kept having player lots of different, other players, other sets, but had all these Boggs cards. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take those 30, I'll take those 40. And then before you know it, it just adds up. So, yeah. But once I got to 1,000, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, what you said it started with buying the 100 or so different cards from your local card dealer. What year was that?
That was probably around the 96, 97. And then when eBay came in with 98, that's when it really exploded. And one time it was around 2004 or 2005. I don't know if this was, it may have been a listing on eBay, or someone reached out to me that knew I collected Boggs cards. And he sold me close to a 5,000 count box.
Wow.
Of Boggs cards. And he says there are a lot. Now, he said some duplicates, but there are a lot of different.
Okay.
And I forget what I may have paid like $500-$600 for them. About 10, maybe around 10 cents each, somewhere around there. And again, there were some that, I have this, and here's, 50 1993 Upper Deck cards. Oh, yay. It's like they're, the junk back stuff. But I'm like, oh, what's this one? And what's the little variations, little oddball issues, food issues, different things that at the time, I'm not sure if it doubled the number of different cards I had, but it was a significant bump up
Wow.
in the number, and some parallels and stuff that it's surprisingly like today really hard to find some of these parallels. Yeah, they may be numbered out of like 99. You think, well, 99, that's the,
Right.
back then.
Yep.
You can't find them on eBay.
Yep.
Either they're not listed, people don't either know what they have, or they're really hard to find because they printed so many.
Yep.
You know, so a serial numbered out of 99 out of 1,000,000 cards, it's still a lot. So,
especially when you're talking about, 20, 30 years of that card existing, they end up in collections like yours and they don't come out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He wants to put those cards up for again, especially if they don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They look at it and go, well, there's just nothing. I'm not going to list this and sell it for 99 cents. I got the shipping and say,
Yep.
Not worth it. And then most of them don't set up at shows, so you don't see them in, dime box, quarter boxes, whatever.
Yep.
And they just they sit and collect dust. And I'm like, yeah, but I like one of those. So, yeah.
So and then you said you amassed a spreadsheet of a master, pretty much a master Boggs checklist. How many cards in total are there on that checklist?
Yeah, actually, I should have pulled that up right away here. Let's see if I can, because I tried to update it. Here we go. Here we go. I try to update as often as I can, but with different things going on,
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden 3 new Topps releases are out, and he's in there, and I forget. And right now there are 14,604 cards that I have, and the vast majority are after he retired after the 1999 season. I mean, because before 1999, you didn't have a lot of the parallels. You didn't have a lot of the game use stuff, autograph cards. That was just started late, 96 maybe, but 97 is when the card companies first started doing the autographs and the inserts of memorabilia and things like that, and the one-of-ones and lower serial numbered cards. So after that, it just exploded. And then, of course, when Boggs got elected to the Hall of Fame in 2005, there were all these sets that included Hall of Fame. And he and Sandberg were just like promoted like crazy.
Yeah.
And that may be the one year that there is, let's see, just in 2005 alone, 1,139 different cards.
Jeez.
But with that said, in 2024, there were 1,419 different cards that Wade Boggs produced. He'd been retired for like 25 years.
Yep.
And he still had over 1,400 cards made. So again, being a player collector, the card companies have no desire to cater to player collectors. It's just let's get as many people getting one-of-ones as possible. Because heaven forbid, there's only like 2 people that have the one-of-ones, and also no, let's get them all out to the masses and stuff. And see if I do have a count of the number of one-of-ones. Oh, I'm sorry, I said 2,000, maybe 3,000. No, 4,142 one-of-ones.
Now, does that count printing plates?
That counts printing plates.
Okay.
Yes. So there would be 4.
Yep.
Yes. So I do count the printing plates.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, and this is a checklist. Like I said, I've developed it, just kept it updated, for at least 15 years, maybe even longer. Because again, I need to know what's out there. So if I see something on eBay, especially even if I lose out on it, I add it to the checklist. You never know when it may surface again, or it may not, but at least I know that card exists.
Yep. Now, do you provide trading card database with the data, or do they provide you with the data? Because that's pretty extensive.
I started my initial checklist off of Beckett.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is going back maybe around the 2005 era. So I don't know if trading card database was around that or if it was around back then. I didn't know about it. So yeah, I got the initial. I was able to download the checklist from Beckett's website,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I started. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah, so that and I just did it. No, but no, I haven't uploaded anything to trading card database. I suppose I could. It's in an Excel format. I just never inquired how to do that.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they came to you for a complete list of Boggs cards or.
So I'd be happy to share my check.
Yeah.
Anyone that's interested that it wants to collect Boggs cards, I can have the checklist up for download. So
Now, so this is kind of a sidebar, but does Beckett still offer a player checklist for?
I think they do.
Okay.
I don't know if they still have. At one point they had their online price guide,
Mm-hmm.
which I never subscribed to. But you could have an account and you could build like your collection,
Mm-hmm.
and you could add cards. And so they had a database. Now I don't know how easy it is now to go in. They may have like, oh, so many per screen, and you'd have to somehow that. I forget how it was, but back in 20 some years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a lot easier to grab that
Well-
checklist and convert it into an Excel spreadsheet. It may be a lot more difficult now to try to do that
Yeah.
from their website, but
I mean, you're talking probably 7,000 to 10,000 less cards to catalog on that. So
yeah. And I'm sure they have the majority, but I'll have some. Again, if I come across stuff,
Mhm.
so I'll have ones that are a blank back.
Mhm.
In fact, I have one here that again an 84 tops, but it's a blank back.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was in pack. It was in a pack. It was just a printing error.
Yeah.
But I have this on my checklist. Beckett wouldn't have most likely a blank back error.
Right.
So again, little things like that and some oddball stuff they may not have in their checklist today.
I mean, T206s are kind of like that, where the T206 white border checklist as a whole is different from the T206 broadleaf checklist or T206, and so if you didn't catalog it, as the specific back, it's kind of hard to track it. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
How many now for the blank backs for Boggs? Do you know about how many are in existence for those?
There's an 84 tops. There's I think a couple others, because one of them I know I'm missing, and as far as I know, there's no blank back rookie card
Okay.
of tops. I don't know if there's an 85. Maybe there's an 87.
But that
I'd
occurred
have
in
to. I had
multiple
to. I had
years.
to. But there are a couple others out there. Again, it's just happened to be a printing error, and he was on that sheet.
Yeah.
I don't know how many sheets came through like that. There's no estimated print run, or no one's trying to calculate how many blank back errors. And again, it's not just Boggs. I'm sure you could put together. I wouldn't be surprised if someone could put together a complete set from 1 year of blank backs.
Wow.
It just happens to. They made so many of them
Yeah.
that, and they just started spewing them out. Oh, I forgot the back, and there are a couple. Which one is it? I forget what year. It's a blank front, so it has the back of the card,
Interesting.
but it's a blank front. So those little quirks I have in my checklist. If I'm aware of a version of that out there.
That's what makes it the master checklist.
Yeah.
Well, you showed the regular 84. I will show.
The Ralston Purina.
Yes. This is one of my favorite sets, just in general. It appeared on another episode. I think the Hall of Fame I think I did a few Hall of Famers from that set. I like that set, but that's one of my favorite Boggs cards as well. So 84
Yeah.
was just popular in general, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's another. So I showed the blank page, and I'm not sure if this is going to show up on the screen or not here.
Mhm.
But this is the blank back. So
Okay.
it's basically the regular Topps card, and if you can notice where his image there is in the box,
Yeah.
the top of his hat goes just above the top line in the box.
Yeah.
And that's how it is for most players. But there was a proof done. So this is from an uncut sheet. I don't know how many are out there, but not too many. This is a Topps encased proof. So encased means that they did a version where they made the player's hat fully inside. So let's see if I can do a back to back here. So I don't know if you'd be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
Okay, yeah. So the encased proofs, they're not easy to find.
That's awesome.
And
I didn't know about those.
yeah, yep. And I think it was just for 84. Why they did it that way, I don't know if they were experimenting with something. I don't know how many of these sheets were done. I don't know if a complete set of cards
Mhm.
or whether Boggs just happened to be in the one sheet. I don't know that much about it other than I know they exist and there aren't many out there.
That's sweet.
So, but that's
If
yeah. So just little things like that you hear about and you see, and back then it's like I got to grab it because
Yeah. Well, if anybody who watches this has an explanation for that and how many there are, uh, please put that in the comments because I would like to learn more about that as well. That's interesting.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew they come from an uncut sheet.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know. There's probably some collectors of that focus in the 80s
Mhm.
and the oddball issues and all that stuff that may have an idea. At one point, I may have done some research on it, but I forget all the details.
Yeah.
Why they did it, why they chose to just crop it within I don't know.
That's awesome, though. I learned something new. Now, okay, so there's ample amounts of one-of-ones out there that you're just kind of casually going after, as they make sense to. Are there, and this might be jumping the gun a little bit because you haven't really shown too many of the cards yet, but are there any cards that you have top priority, need to, if this ever pops up, doesn't really matter what it costs, just got to buy it right then and there type of stuff?
That's because with all the cards that are out there and are always being produced every year, I made the conclusion about a year or so ago that one, because I've been more focused on building my vintage baseball card collection,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really enjoying doing that. But I don't want to completely give up on my Wade Boggs collection.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to focus on are to fill in the gaps of some of his playing days cards, because there's a lot fewer of those and they're not making new ones. It's whatever's out there. So it's a finite number. There's one big card there's and I have most of them to show off here within at least the Boggs community, but in player collectors in general, there are certain sets from the late 90s, insert sets, low serial number cards that are like sort of grail cards for player collectors. Like, to have one of these cards, it's like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's really only one I'm missing, and it's the 1996 Select Certified Mirror Gold. There's a blue and a red.
Yep.
I think I have the blue. I'm missing the red and the gold. The gold are out of 30.
Okay.
And yeah, there's one that occasionally pops up on eBay. I think they want like $3,000 for it or something. I'm not paying. Yeah. For $3,000, I could put a strong bid on a game used jersey. So,
Yep.
That's a card that I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sell any of my cards to try to acquire. It's not. I have enough rare cards that I am very happy with what I have in my collection. For the new stuff, it's the law of diminishing returns. I mentioned I have like, over 1,100 over 700 certified autograph cards. So if a new Topps 5-star comes out and it's out of 25 and someone wants, 75 to $100 for it, I'm like, I can put that towards a nice vintage card that I don't have. Do I need another autograph card? But if I look at it and go, wow, that year's design, that is a really cool card and I can get it for a decent price, I may pick it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not really going for. Now, I did pay up recently, really paid up for a. It was a game used autograph card, and I should have pulled them. It's from 2000. I'm trying to remember what year it is now.
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
There we go. Sorry, my mouse got in the way when I went to move it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm trying to remember the year now. I think it's from Ultimate Collection, and I think it's 2008. Let's see if that's right from my checklist here. 2008 Ultimate Collection, and there are huge jersey patches.
Okay.
Or jersey pieces, I should say. And the players signed on the jersey. And there's a version that's out of 10 and a gold version out of 5.
Got it.
They have a home jersey with both versions, an away jersey with both versions, and pants of both versions. So there were 6 different ones, and I had 5 of the 6.
Got it.
And the one that I was missing showed up on eBay. I think it was a ComC listing or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had some money from this past Christmas, and I'm like, oh, what the heck? That way. So now I have all 6 of them that get sort of complete. That's a unique thing that, I'm missing maybe one of, I don't want to say rainbow. I have plenty of rainbows. If you're not familiar with rainbow, that's all the different parallels of a particular card. You probably know what a rainbow is, but for others that are watching,
I have a lot of pre-war and vintage people that watch. So yes, they probably are. They're probably a little less familiar with it. So thank you for that explanation.
Yeah, and some of the rainbows, it's not just like 3 or 4 different parallels.
Right.
It's like 8, 10, or 12. I mean, it's some of them are just crazy. But yeah, whatever the year was. So that was a unique, big purchase.
Yeah.
For me. But yeah, I'm pretty much concentrating now on his playing days and trying to fill in some of the gaps. And there are some gaps that, again, you don't think they're really hard to find or expensive. They may be serial numbered out of 100 or even 150. You just can't find them.
Yep.
And so when one would pop up, I'm sure that someone will say, "Oh, I know what I have. It's $45 for this." That I'm like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'll consider it or something like that. But
right.
That's my focus right now. So yeah, I don't have a must-have Boggs card that would sort of like complete my collection. I'm happy with what I've put together, which has allowed me then to pivot and focus more on my vintage collection, because I've built my Boggs collection. Again, I don't know what would be out there again, other than that select certified mirror gold,
Hmm.
that I'm missing, or that I feel like my collection is not complete without a certain card.
And I think that's the last part you just said there, I think is so key because when it comes to player collecting, you know, the having one of every single card is borderline impossible. So you have to learn to be happy and figure out, okay, at what point is this collection not necessarily complete but fulfilling?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've kind of scoped everything out, kind of narrowed it down, and said, yeah, all right, here's maybe one or two cards here or there that's left, but that's about it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's
And
awesome.
again, I'll pick up the new stuff. I love Allen and Ginter. So when that was released, I picked up some. There's maybe a couple other parallels. Some of the minis I'm missing, not that expensive. I'll go out
Yeah.
and pick them up. Maybe I always like the Allen Ginter relic
Yep.
cards. They're really beautiful. I'll maybe spend 10, $12 to pick up one. I'm like, do I need another bat or jersey card? No, but I like the design. And it's
Right.
not okay. It's not that much, but there are other members of the Boggs Trust that a few of them are like, hey, I got this. There's one of them who she's more of a Yankees fan
Hmm.
and a Boggs fan. So if there's a Boggs card featured in a Yankees uniform
Yep.
and it's an autograph from Topps Tribute or something like that, Topps 5 site, she'll go, oh, hey, I picked up this one. I really love the design. I may want to try to go for the rainbow. So a lot of us in the group were like, hey, that you go for it. Hope you complete it. And if one of us find, hey, I just saw the red out of 5. Hey, it's over here. Or I know someone who has it. So we try to help everyone out. It's rare that we bid against each other on a card because
Mhm.
again, we're well established collectors of Bog stuff, and we all have our little lanes or focuses.
Yeah.
There's a couple others that if they see a one of one, they try to go after it.
Yep.
And they probably have 3 or 4 times the number of one of ones that I do. Right? I'm done essentially buying one of ones. So if I see one pop up, hey Robert, here's a one of one that you don't have.
Yep.
So we look out for each other. So it's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what else did you bring to share with the class?
All right. Yeah, I have a few. Again, I struggled because with over 5,600 cards, it's like, I was like, oh, do I want to? Well, maybe I can show this one. Well, I picked maybe some of the interesting ones, a couple of the stories, some rare cards that you may not have seen or heard of, or different parallels. This one, your people watching here may be familiar with it. I believe it's the first main set that included autographed cards, pack pulled autograph cards. 96 leaf signature.
Yep, beautiful.
And there are 3 versions. There's the bronze, the silver, and Boggs is short printed for the gold. This is the gold version out of 100.
Wow.
It's not serial numbered, but there's the print runs 100. So I didn't pull the bronze or silver, but I have all 3 versions, and this one is like I said, it's short printed to just 100 copies.
I don't know if that's necessarily underrated by modern standards, but for people who don't collect modern, and that's I guess considered modern, that is one of the best sets ever made in my opinion. I have a bunch of Cleveland Indians autographs from that set when I was building my 95 and 97 autograph rosters, and I enjoyed and still enjoy looking at those cards. Just a beautiful, beautiful design.
I think the 2 main ones, I think Jeter is in the set, and that's his rookie year. And I want to say the other big one, which may or may not be his rookie year, Mariano Rivera.
Yes.
I think those there may be some others in there, but I think those are the biggest. I'm assuming Griffey's in it. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure Jeter and Rivera are in that set, and they may be short printed, but those are really expensive.
Yes, they
autograph cards, especially the gold versions.
Even the comments, of for what would be pennies, the commons go for still dollars. So that's a great card, and that's the gold, which I don't even think I have any gold. I think I have silver and bronze as mine, but that's awesome.
Yeah. And then this next one, you wouldn't think it's that valuable, but it's from 1996 Pinnacle, and it's an insert set. And, there's Greg Maddux, I know, is in the set. I think Frank Thomas, and it's called Pinnacle Skylines. So it features a player and the background of the city that they play in.
Yep.
Well, the reason why this is the most expensive card in that insert set,
it's because of the Twin
you
Towers.
see why?
Twin Towers.
Yep. Has the Twin Towers in it.
What?
And for that reason, this card sells. I've seen it for like over $100.
Wow.
But and it's not serial numbered. I don't know what the print or the odds. I don't know, but it just has an interesting story to it because of the Twin Towers. And I don't know if there's another card that pictures the Twin Towers, but because he was with the Yankees at the time the set came out, the background is New York City.
And what year was that?
1996.
Okay, so it's not even
about 5 years. 5 years before 9/11.
Yeah,
so.
in between the two attacks on the Twin Towers, because there was one.
Yeah, there was one before that.
93, 94?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a unique card, and you wouldn't think, because the one nice thing about Boggs and choosing Boggs, which hindsight is it was a smart move. While he's a Hall of Famer and played for the Red Sox and the Yankees, his cards are relatively inexpensive. So I thank God I didn't choose to be a Ken Griffey Jr. player collector or a Cal Ripken Jr., Derek Jeter. It would have been like my collection would have been so small because of just how expensive they. So some of his cards are maybe a third of what other Hall of Famers go for.
Yeah.
But that's the one exception there where his card in that insert set, I think, goes for the most amount of money.
Is there anybody else from the Yankees in that insert set, or is he the insert?
No, I think they feed, because this is card number 8 of 18. So I think they only had 18 different players in the set, and I don't think they doubled up on any other team members.
Got it.
So I think it's 18 different players on 18 different teams.
So that's kind of like
different cities.
Modern day home field advantage cards.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, like the home field advantage.
Yep, got it.
Yeah,
but it's a sweet card, and it's acetate in the middle, correct?
Yeah. So it's
see through. Yeah,
see through, and yeah.
That's a very cool card.
The next one here, this is one of those, again, for player collectors from the 90s. It's the 1997 EX 2000.
Yep.
And it's the Essential Credentials. And hopefully you can see the shimmer.
It's pretty much all you can see is the shimmer.
Yeah. And these are out of 99. Again, okay, well, out of 99 in today's modern cards, a parallel out of 99 is a $3-4 card. I mean, there's nothing big about an out of 99.
Right.
Even an auto out of 99, depending on the player, is not that. But this Essential Credentials, yeah, this is a hard one to find, even though there's 99 of them.
Yep. It's really
and that has the acetate too a little bit. I don't know if you can see my finger in the background there. So again, just the 1990s cards, man, I tell you, I love vintage. I've always loved vintage, but never really collected it until like last 5 or 6 years. Some of the shine, some of the design concepts that they did in the 90s, just beautiful. Yeah.
It's the most, people call it the junk wax era, but those cards prove it as anything but junk. Yes, you have the flagship stuff was overproduced to the high heavens, but there are so many beautiful sets. Even like I know you mentioned Pinnacle, and um, Pinnacle's often thought of as lower end, but they produced some phenomenal cards like
Yeah.
the Skyline. So, yeah,
Yep.
I've always liked the EX and um, just tons of '90s stuff.
Yeah.
I grew up collecting Tomy, so
Okay.
a lot
Yeah.
of the same era, is what I've collected most of my life as well, and so I'm very familiar with everything that
Yeah.
that you're showing. So,
I'm friends with a huge Mark McGuire player
okay,
collector, and we sometimes we've spent hours on the phone
hmm
talking about all the different inserts. Oh, was Boggs in this insert set? Do you have that? Yep, I have that one. Yeah. Do you have the one that's out of this? I'm like, yeah, we have that and stuff. And I'm like, no, no, Boggs isn't in that one, but McGuire was, or vice versa. And because McGuire, his playing days extended beyond Boggs,
yep,
so he was still playing and hitting the home runs and going, breaking Roger Maris's record and all that stuff.
yeah,
While the new set, so he was in a ton of more inserts and parallels than Boggs was, because at the time he was a retired player. So once you get to a certain point, I'm like, yep, no, Boggs wasn't it. No, Boggs didn't have that one. No, he didn't.
yep,
So, but it's fun discussing, even with another player collector, an unrelated player, if they played within that time frame, you can say, "Oh, do you have this one? Hey, did you hear about this one?" And yeah, so you can have some great stories. I mentioned the one big card that I don't have is the '96 Select Certified Mirror Gold.
hmm
Well, in '97, this is another Pinnacle product, but Pinnacle came out with the Totally Certified,
yep,
and this is the Pinnacle Totally Certified Platinum Gold. And again, you want some shine
yep, with the foil cover.
with the foil. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are out of 30. That's it.
Which
Just
is
like
pretty
the-
much
the-
a 1 of 1 in today's standards, or out of 5 in today's standards.
Yes. Yeah. Just nearly. You can't. These don't come up.
Nope.
They don't come up for sale. Yeah.
Again, beautiful set.
And then we have from 1998. This is who put this? So Skybox, I think at the time, I think that was maybe owned by Donruss. It was a Skybox. Maybe I don't think Skybox had its own separate. I think it was owned. I think it was a parent company. It may have been.
Was it
may have been
Pinnacle?
Donruss. It may have been. I'm trying to see the fine print, and I can't read the fine print. It's really low. But in '98, there was a set called Circa Thunder,
Okay.
and they had two insert or parallel versions. This is the Circa Thunder Rave. So you can see where Boggs is. It just has a little bit of a shine to it.
Yeah.
These are out of 150. And again, you don't think, okay, 150, try finding one.
Yep.
Okay. But then, so this is the Rave. Then they had the Super Rave. And you can see it has like more of like a, well, there you can see it,
Yeah.
right? Oops, there we go.
There goes
The
PSA
Super
10.
Raves are out of 25.
That's incredible.
So again, to have the Rave, it's something, but then the Super Rave.
So any kids that watch this, pretty much take those numbers and divide them by 10, and that's what the modern comparison would be as far as,
Yeah, a
what
lot
the
of these could be compared to either, no, not necessarily one of ones, because there's some other people. Hey, I have a Super Rave too,
Yeah.
but more like out of fives.
Right.
So for those watching it, it's like pulling a red out of 5,
Yep.
red auto or red parallel out of 5, and the excitement that you would get from pulling one of those, especially if your favorite player, that's what these equate to.
Yep.
Then in '98, Donruss came out with an insert set, the Call to Arms, and sorry, it's the Donruss Crusade Call to Arms. There are 3 versions. This one's fairly common. The green.
Yep.
At a 250, you can find them. They'll pop up on eBay occasionally. Okay. Then you have the purple. Those are out of 100.
Yep.
One may pop up every year or two, maybe. And then there's the Donruss Crusade Red. Those are out of 25.
That's such a sharp card.
Again, maybe every 3, 4, 5, one will pop up. Again, they're out of 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say at least half of them are like me. Never to see eBay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
so those are those 3 ones there.
Those are the original Crusades. Panini's Crusade nowadays is the remake of that. Just so everyone knows.
That was the first year of the Crusades.
Yes.
Yep. Then also in '98, again, the theme, and it also happened to be, if you notice the years here, this is when eBay started coming. So when I got on eBay,
yep,
these cards were still popping up because they were either released that year or maybe a year or 2 prior. So there were still, people were still opening boxes. There were still, so those cards were still circulating within the hobby. So that's why I was able to pick up a lot of these. Now, again, I didn't necessarily pick them up cheap, but at least they were available.
Yep.
And so this one is from 1998 Leaf, and this is the Leaf Fractal Materials. So this is Leaf 50th anniversary, and they had probably 5 or 6 different parallel versions, but this is a die cut. So you can see.
Yep.
And this is the Z2 axis. How they came up with the Z2 axis, I don't know. But I do know that they're serial numbered out of 20.
Jeez.
So, and this is this one is, you can't tell. It has sort of like it's not even a canvas feel. It's more of I want to say it's almost like a nylon or something. It has just a silky. I'm sure the camera doesn't pick it up.
The camera actually picks up more of the canvas description.
Good. Okay.
So
all
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I think different players within the set had different types of material.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, maybe the more common, but again, once you get to these die cuts, out of 20 is out of 20.
Yeah.
Here's one that most likely no one has, well, I wouldn't say no one, 99% of the people out there have never seen. And the reason why no one has ever seen this card is because in 1998, Pinnacle filed bankruptcy.
Okay.
But they were working on sets. I think it was maybe late 97, early 98. They were working on sets for that year. And they had some test runs and stuff. This was probably backdoored or whatever, but this is the 1998 Pinnacle Certified Mirror Red, which would have been released in packs and would have been a parallel version, numbered version. I don't know what it would have been numbered to, but they never made the set. They filed bankruptcy before the set was made. So there is technically no 1998 Pinnacle certified set. But this is the Mirror Red test issue. There are other colors. There's a blue. There's a gold.
Of course there is.
But and so on the back, I mean, it looks like a full regular card, but they did a small test run for the set, and like I said, these were never pack pulled. There are other players
Yeah.
that have been found its way out to the marketplace, but you're never going to find this card.
It looks like on the back there towards the bottom, that gap looks larger than usual. It looks like there would have been a spot for a serial number.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. They would have had, and I don't know. The Mirror Reds may have been out of 99 or something. Maybe it was, but the gold was probably there's red, blue, and gold. So just like the 1996 Select Certified, it was probably 90, 45, and 30 or something like that. So this may have been the most prevalent of the inserts, but there's probably less than 5 of these. There has to be less than 5 of these out there.
That's
so cool. I don't think this is a one of one, but I don't know for sure. Another big one that, again, player collectors from this time period probably either don't know about, never seen, or don't have in their collection. This is a various parallels, but it's from 1999 Fleer Tradition. Okay. The set itself is nothing big. I don't think there's any big rookies. And there are a few parallels, but nothing crazy. A lot of them are not even serial numbered. But this one has, instead of, I think the base one has a silver foil, but this is blue.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see down there, but you see the number 9?
Yes.
It's called the starting 9.
Okay.
And that's because it is serial numbered right below there, 3 of 9. There's only 9 of these parallels.
Wow.
And again, it was just one of them that popped up on eBay. And yeah.
Wow.
So there's other parallels that you'll find, and you'll find them on eBay, and they're not that much because they're not serial numbered.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember the last time I saw a starting 9 on eBay or anyone else for sale. I can't remember the last one I saw.
Of Wade Boggs or of any player?
Yeah, of Boggs. Yeah, then there may have been. I only search for Boggs, so I don't know.
Yeah.
There may have been other players that show up from time to time, but for Boggs, I don't recall ever seeing another copy pop up on eBay. They have to be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
But the biggest one, though, and probably my most valuable Boggs card, it's not this one, but if you collect cards from the 90s and even basketball cards, of PMGs,
yep.
Precious Metal Gems.
Yep.
So the only year that Boggs had a Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems was 1999. And so here is the Precious Metal Gems.
Wow.
They are out of 50. So on the back, you can see down at the bottom, it says out of 50 Precious Metal Gems.
Yep.
Just love that shine on it.
For any kids watching, or this is the equivalent of today's like downtowns or kabooms or something like that. PMGs back in the day were.
And you see for Michael Jordan, one of his biggest cards is I can't remember whether it's the red or green PMG, sells for like 6 figures, I think, if it's graded a certain way. Yeah, just hard to find. So I think this was probably the first iteration of the Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems from 1999 for baseball.
That is awesome.
Now, in addition to the Precious Metal Gems, they had the Gem Master 1 of 1.
And I'm assuming when you said it's not this one, I'm assuming this is the most expensive.
It's this one.
Yes.
If you can see down at the bottom, it says Gem Master, the only one. What does it say here? The only 1 of 1 Gem Master. Down at the bottom.
Wow.
When I was talking to a big Griffey collector at last year's national, and we were, comparing. Of course, he has. I think he's the one that has over 15,000 different Griffey cards. I mean, his collection is just unbelievable. And when I told him I had the Gem Masters, he said that's probably your most valuable card.
Yep. Wow.
So just the two of these side by side, they're just gorgeous.
Okay? No, never mind. It was just the angle. I wasn't sure if because I don't think I've ever seen the Masters one, but at first it looked smaller, but it's not.
Oh no, it's the case.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It was an optical illusion.
Yeah. Yeah, I may have been holding one, further from the camera.
You're good. That's beautiful.
Here's an interesting one, and again, I know they exist because I have them. The regular insert, I don't think they're even one of them's serial numbered, and I don't know if both of them are. Yeah, both of the regular inserts are serial numbered, but there's a parallel version. And I don't know much about it. I don't know what the print run is because they're not specifically serial numbered. But both of these are from 2001 Donruss Signature.
Okay.
I love the design to start off. So this is the Milestone Marks. Okay. It's a sticker autograph. Okay.
Yep.
But just love the design.
Yep.
Okay. On its own, it's out of 98. You can find these, maybe pay, I don't know, $75 for it, something like that. I mean, it's not an outrageous card. Okay. But they have a parallel called Master Series. And if you can see, this is the Master Series. It's silver.
Yep.
And right at the top underneath my fingers, if you see, it says Master Series Signature.
Yep.
That one is not serial numbered. I don't know the print run. I don't know the insert rate.
It's got to be less than 98.
Again, you'll see these occasionally pop up. You won't see these.
Yeah. Wow.
And in that same set, they had a signature stats. Now this one's graded. I didn't have it graded. Most of my Boggs cards I don't have graded, unless this is how the seller graded it and listed it on eBay. Okay, signature stats, cool card, love the design.
Yep.
It's out of 51. It's, again, you'll occasionally find it on eBay. Here is and this one is on the right-hand side, the Master Series Signature. So you see the blue on the right-hand side, and that's silver.
Yeah, you can see that up the side.
Yep. Again, you can find this one. Maybe a little bit of a harder of a search, but you won't find the Master Series. And I don't know much about them.
Wow.
Other than I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute, this one's different than this other one, and it's not serial number. Say, well, maybe it's hard. And I think at first I thought, well, maybe this is the base and this is a harder one to find. No, those are the harder ones. So, another one quickly. I just have a few more, if that's okay.
You're good.
All right.
This whole series is about people just sharing their passion.
I could have you on for 6 hours and go through my cards, but I will try to keep it fairly short here for your watchers. But the next one is another one from 2001.
Yeah.
Topps Tribute Game Patch Number Relics. So he's with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and believe it or not, it's hard to tell. It's a solid color patch piece. It's purple. I don't know if the camera picks it up.
You can kind of see the bluish purple hue.
It's purple.
Yeah.
It's not serial numbered, but the print run is limited to 30.
Wow.
You'll maybe see one pop up every couple years, maybe. Maybe on ComC. I know there's some sellers on there that they find some of these low serial numbered parallels from the 90s and list them on there and ask a fortune for them. So occasionally you're like, John, what do you mean? I saw one on ComC, but yeah, they want $175 for it. It's like, yeah, no, it's out of 30, but it's anyway. So there could be some of these that occasionally pop up on ComC, but for the design, this is probably within my top 10 because I always seem to go to it. You have certain cards in your collection, regardless of value, that you think of certain cards and one just sticks in your head and you just go back to it. It's not really a color match per se, but this is from 2004, SP. So it's Upper Deck SP. Upper Deck made some amazing baseball cards in the 90s and early 2000s. Oh, I wish they had a license. They would give Topps a run for their money. I can guarantee, because they do it in hockey. I know there's some. I'm not into hockey cards, but I've seen people show off some hockey cards. Oh, man, for modern cards, Upper Deck, they do an outstanding job. So plug out the Upper Deck. But this is from Upper Deck SP, Game Use Patch, 3000 Hit Club autograph.
Wow.
Now it's purple on the side, so it's not really. It's okay. It's not, John. It's not a like Red Sox color match or whatever, and it's a sticker autograph. But
look at that patch.
Check. So, what do you think that patch is?
It looks like some sort of anniversary. 100th anniversary of the Red Sox or something like that.
No.
Fenway.
It has an even more historical. Again, it's just a regular patch on a jersey, but it's game used.
Yeah.
I believe it's the representing the 40th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking into the big leagues. Someone did a check on different patches and players and stuff, and I think they matched it up to, and I believe it's the 40th anniversary. So that is the 0 and the 40th anniversary, and I believe it's a Jackie Robinson patch. I'm pretty sure.
So is that what, 88 or? Well,
40 would have been 80, 87, 88.
Yeah.
I think it's 80. It would have been 87.
87, right? Yeah.
Maybe it's the 60th. Maybe in the 60th, not the 40th. Would put it in 97 because they didn't have patches in 87, 97 or 07.
50th.
It may be the 50th or 60th. So I may be mistaken there. It's either the 50th or 60th, and maybe probably the 50th if they were going to do a special patch. So, but it was related to the anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier.
No.
As you can see, I don't know if you can see down at the bottom, but these are serial numbered to 10.
So did they were all the patches from, a Jackie Robinson anniversary
I
patch?
don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen many others from this set or other players.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think, since there's 10 of them, I don't think the patch was that big to fit 10. My guess is I just lucked out and that they had a certain patch. Well, let's throw this patch in that's nice and colorful or whatever. And another one may have just been a Red Sox, number patch.
Wow.
But this is from that logo because it is number 2 out of 10. So normally, at least that I've found, that when they do certain patches, like the first one would be a really nice one, and they'll go through the patch pieces, and usually like 9 or 10. Once you get to the end of the serial numbering, the patches aren't as cool or impressive as the first numbers. At least generally speaking, I found.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, and then here's one that is more of a color match, also from 2004. This is Upper Deck again.
Of course.
Sweet Spot Classic Game Use Patch Silver Rainbow. So this is an insert, then a parallel of that insert, the rainbow foil, and these are out of 10. But that's a cool Red Sox patch right there.
Yeah, it is. With
that reddish background design, it's a card that I always go to when I show off Boggs cards. It's like this is one I have to pull out. It's just something about it.
And Upper Deck signature holographic logo insert there too.
Yep. Yeah. Just a couple. Here's one it's a set of 3.
Okay.
From 2016, Topps Tribute. They had an insert set, Foundations of Greatness, and I don't I don't have the 1/1, so it's not a full rainbow, but I have the purple out of 50.
Yep.
I just love that image of him. There's another one, I forget the name of the insert, but he's on the Devil Rays. But since this is the Red Sox, Boggs is always a Red Sox to me. I know he won a World Series, and I'm glad he did with the Yankees to get that stain of '86, off him. But he's always going to. So when there's a card of him in a Red Sox uniform, and just with that shine, so that's the purple out of 50. They have an orange out of 25.
I like the orange.
But my favorite is the red out of 5.
Wow.
I don't know, just the shine, just the autograph. It's on card autograph, which I prefer. If you notice the difference, let me see if I can put. Okay, so just compare the two. So when he's limited to a sticker, it's condensed.
Yep.
When he has an opportunity to sign on card, just look at that autograph. Just see the difference.
Yep.
His auto is just so bold, and he just loves the big W and the B, and yeah, I love on card autographs.
I agree.
And so here's the mini rainbow again, missing I think the 1/1 is black. So it's like, okay, well, but there's the 3 different colors.
Black's not in a rainbow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good excuse.
Yeah.
The black isn't in a rainbow. But yeah, I just I love pulling those out. And here's the last one before I get to the one that really has a cool story to it.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year that this was an insert in Allen and Ginter. For those of you have been opening Allen and Ginter products over the last, maybe 10 years. This card's from 2014, so close to 10 years. There were rip cards, right? So you have either a single or in some cases a dual rip card. And you don't know what you're going to get. It could be a short, high number short print. Could be an autograph card.
You can also keep it sealed.
Yes.
And there's a player on the exterior.
Yes. Yes. So it's a regular card.
Yep.
Now I didn't rip this. I wish I would have had I have another story, but I did not buy a card, rip it open, and get this card. But I believe this was the first year that Topps included a mini medal.
That's sweet.
And supposedly, I think now the mini medals are. I don't think they're 1/1s. I think maybe the print run of 3, but this is supposedly a print run of 5.
Wow.
Now, the story I have, I bought a box of 2018 Allen and Ginter.
Yeah.
I got a double rip card of 2 Cubs players. That just no big deal. So I sort of had the intention of ripping it, but I was told that, hey, there's chances of mini metal cards. So if you take a magnet, you can tell if one of the cards, whether it's a single rip or a dual rip, you can tell if there's a mini card or a mini metal card. Well, I had this dual rip card. I think it was serial numbered at a 99, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to rip it. But I wanted to do the test.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a magnet. I put it up to one side, stuck. I went, ooh, I have a metal card. I turned it around. It's stuck.
Oh my gosh.
I opened it up. It had 2 mini metal cards. One of Bryce Harper. I don't think it was his rookie year, but he was only around. It was in the Nationals uniform, so it was maybe his second, at the most, third-year card, maybe second-year card. Mini metal and Roberto Clemente in one dual rip card. So, yeah, I actually have 3 mini medals, but one of Boggs and then one of Bryce Harper and Roberto Clemente.
That has to be the best double rip card of all time.
It's like, well, you'll say, oh, I got a Shohei Ohtani red autograph out of 5. Fair. But yeah, I mean, but
the odds of 2.
For someone who like Roberto, the vintage players and stuff like that, and Harper at the time, I mean, he may turn out to be a Hall of Famer. All right, the last card that that I have to show off is another one like that sort of bankruptcy card that I showed.
Yeah.
There were only literally 14 cards of these in existence, and they are all spoken for. And most likely, they will never see the light of day beyond the 14 who own it. And it is this. It's from 2023.
Okay.
Leaf.
Wow.
Metal. On-card autograph of Wade Boggs. And if you notice, what's that logo there? That's the Boggs Trust logo that I have on my t-shirt. And a fellow YouTuber, Scott Reindeer Studios, did the design.
Yep.
So how did this come about? Well, at the 2020 thing, it's serial numbered out of 14 down at the bottom. And I have number 3. Wade Boggs has number 1 out of 14. My buddy Rich has number 2 out of 14, and the remaining members of the Boggs Trust have the other copies. In 2023 at the National, Boggs was invited as one of multiple athletes to open some Leaf products live on stream. Brian Gray, who was the owner of Leaf at the time, just had former athletes come and just open rip boxes, see what they pull and stuff like that. And they started talking about Boggs and his fan base. He's like, yeah, I have a couple members of the Boggs Trust here, and there were like 3 or 4 of us there, and we were waving. And so they started talking about that, and Brian turns to Wade and goes, you know what? I want to do something for you and the members of the Boggs Trust. I want to create a special, unique card, not in packs, just for you and the Boggs Trust members. I want to create a card, have you sign it. And he says, would you do this? He says, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, do that. So my buddy Rich was the one who sort of coordinated everything. I worked with the designer at Leaf to incorporate that logo. I had Scott Reindeer Studios create it and, sort of approved the design. 14 of them were made, shipped down to Wade. He signed all of them, got them to my buddy Rich. Wade kept, the first one. And the other 13 were distributed to the members of the Boggs Trust. So not pack pulled, specially created by Leaf in 2023 for just the members of the Boggs Trust.
That is awesome.
So this is I don't want to say it's a coffin card, but I mean it's such a unique item that I don't see myself ever selling. It's just too special. The story behind it and the meaning behind it. It's better than any 1 of 1 or any other card that I have.
I mean, the fact that you were involved in getting that created alone makes it special, let alone them making it and just making it for you and your group of friends.
Yeah.
I mean, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess the last thing that I just want to talk about and mention, especially being a player collector, and for collecting a player that is either currently playing or retired but still around. I mean, you could be a Mickey Mantle player collector, but you never get a chance to meet him.
Right.
Okay. And the initial sort of rule that I thought is, do you really want to ever meet the player that you collect, that you hold on this high pedestal of the accomplishments on field and all this stuff? And, do you want to run the risk of going and meeting that athlete for the first time? Are they going to be rude? Are they going to be dismissive? Or are they just going to treat you just like another person? So you run that risk of, I've collected Wade Boggs all these years and all this stuff. And, oh man, I finally have a chance. Do I want to meet him in person? What is he going to be like? Is he just going to be, because I've been to different shows and I've seen nothing against some of these players, but, they'll have a ball and they'll just hand it and they just go, thank you. And barely even look.
Yep.
And it's like, yep, thank you. Next. Yep, thanks. And it's just it's for the money, but it's just a processing line. They just come, sign, thank you. And I've seen multiple players do it. I don't want to call anybody out, but Some of them are just like, yep, hey, get, earn some money signing signatures. They're okay to say hi, how are you, and stuff like that. But one of the nationals I've had the fortune to meet Wade. It's now over a dozen times, and I won't go into the whole. I'll plug my channel for a bit. If you look for about a year ago, I did 2 sets of videos around the national.
Mm-hmm.
I had the extreme fortune to essentially spend an entire day hanging out with Wade Boggs.
That's
awesome. It was at my buddy's Rich's place, the Boggs Tavern. Boggs went to visit the famous Boggs Tavern that has all Rich's memorabilia. He finally made it to the Mecca of Boggsdom. I mean, it's just over the top. And I had a chance to be part of that, and essentially got to spend an entire day with Wade, and it was just tremendous. I'm not going to go into all that because it'll take another hour. I have a couple of videos on my channel for about a year ago, hanging out with Wade Boggs or something like that around last year's national. But
I'll link it down below.
My point to this is, I was at one of the nationals or one signing, and this one guy was sort of complaining that, man, why isn't the Boggs line moving? Like, I have, I need to be in this other line because I want something else signed by this other player. Like, why is it taking so long? I said, I can tell you why it's taking so long. He'll take 30, 45 seconds, a minute to talk to you. Oscar, how your day's going? Hey, how are you? Oh, hey, that's really cool. Hey, I love the t-shirt or whatever. Hey, do you play Little League or something? I mean, he talks to the kids. He talks to the adult. It's not just like, hi, how are you? What's your name? Bill? Okay, thank you. And just, he takes it. He truly appreciates his fans and those that take the time out to either get a picture with him or get something autographed. He truly appreciates it and loves his fans. And
that's so cool.
I'm so lucky that I chose a player that turned out to be a really nice guy. I mean, if you interact with him enough, you know that he's this great Hall of Famer, great athlete, but he's a regular guy, and you can just hang out with him. I mean, he's so down to earth, not pretentious. And I haven't heard that there's some other players where people have said that, oh yeah, I didn't have the best interaction, or maybe I hope I just caught him on a bad day because he really wasn't friendly or something like this, or was rude or whatever. From day one, the first time I met him, and we follow each other on Twitter. I post a Wade Boggs card of the day within like 10 minutes, sometimes liked by Wade Boggs. And so he follows my posts and different things. I've sent him Christmas cards. He sent me a couple Christmas cards.
That's awesome.
I technically invited him to my wedding. Now, my buddy Rich came out to be in my wedding party. He drove all the way from Chicago to Pennsylvania to be in my wedding. So that's how close of friends we are. But I technically invited Wade to my wedding, knowing that there's no way. He's down in there's no way he's coming to my wedding.
Yeah.
He actually returned the RSVP. Now, it may have been his wife Debbie's handwriting, but it said, sorry, I can't make it. Taking a cruise for my 60th birthday. So I got married around a week. I think it was a week before. No, it was a week after. About a week after his birthday, which is sort of easy for me to remember my wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
It's like a week after Wade Boggs' birthday. But, I'll take what I can get. He was going on a cruise. Now, if he wasn't going on a cruise, he still wouldn't have showed up. But still, I have that framed. I have it, the wedding invitation and his RSVP that he returned. I have it framed. You send him a TTM. For those who are watching that are into TTMs through the mail autographs, I think his address is, you could do a Google search. You should be able to find his address for TTMs or go on TTM websites. I forget what he charges now. I think at one point it was $10. Maybe it's $20 now. I don't know. I believe most of the money he collects, or all of it, he does donate to charity, I believe. And he'll sign, and he gets it back fairly quickly. So nice. He's very good. For those of you who do TTMs and want Wade Boggs' autograph, find his address online and yeah, he'll sign something for you.
Well, that's exactly what you want to hear from your hero, is that he, or your player collector, whatever you want to call them, that they are as authentic and genuine and down to earth as you dream of, and that is awesome. That's really cool to hear.
Yeah. So, like I said, I could go on for it. Here's one more.
Yeah.
I forgot I pulled this one. This is it's another test issue from 1989. The big card in the set is Ken Griffey Jr. because it's his rookie year. But it's the 1989 Topps Heads Up test issue.
That's sweet.
Now, this one still has the suction cup. Now, for me to get this graded, I would have to remove, they won't grade it with the suction cup. And the way it's inserted, I could potentially damage the card trying to remove it. So I'll probably never get this graded. But yeah, it's just meant to stick on a wall, and it's just a little head,
that's
floating head. But 1990, I think they did a set in 1990. That's more common to find. It's the 89, just a limited, probably a regional test issue. I don't know. This is 11 of 24. So there's 24 players. I know Griffey is the big one. And that, I think, may sell for maybe even a couple $1,000s. Just because it's Griffey, it's his rookie year and all that stuff.
Right.
Boggs isn't anywhere close to it, and I don't know the other players, but he's, in terms of like Hall of Famers, there may only be one or two others in the test set. So the value of this is up there.
Okay.
But not anywhere close to Griffey. But it's a cool oddball item.
That's a really cool
I had it over here. So yeah. Now, I could go on for hours and hours, but I really appreciate the time to come on. As you can tell, I'm passionate about my Wade Boggs collection.
Yeah.
I better be for doing it for 30 years or close to 30 years. And I always love the opportunity to talk about my collection.
Well, no, I appreciate you coming on and sharing it, because that's, I changed my channel to be different types of series, and I was thinking there would be a lot of excitement for, maybe Cooperstown 101 because it's the Hall of Fame, or one of the other series, but this series has gotten the most excitement from anyone. Every time I post a video, people are like, love this series, can't wait to see more, because you don't get to see, so much of YouTube and sharing is about value and rarity or something like that, and like that's what my other series is about rarity, and you don't get to see just true raw passion in collecting, and that's why I wanted to do this, is people like you who love collecting Wade Boggs have an incredible collection. There's cards that I'm learning about now that I want to go research. Do any of the players I collect have these cards in it? And you learn, and I love that you came on and shared everything that you did, and it's a lot of fun. It's we're on an hour and a half now of a video, and I mean,
well, and if you notice, I didn't talk about value. I talked maybe about rarity.
Yeah.
But to me, it's, I think that one Gem Masters is probably my most, but honestly, I don't know what that would go for. I don't really care what it would go for. To me, this isn't about value. And I think with a lot of the modern collectors, it's what's the value of this card? What can I flip it for, or whatever? Nothing necessarily bad about that. I don't want to get off, on a soapbox or whatever. But for me, this has been a passion about a project, a focus, and a player that I've gotten to know. He'll see me in a crowd and he'll recognize me and stuff. Just that connection with him and my cards transcend any value of what these may be worth. To me, it's not about the value of my collection, because a lot of the times I even tracked what value I've assigned to some of these cards was probably from 15 years ago. That I haven't kept up on what some of these cards go for now because I have no intention of selling.
Yeah.
So that's one of the passions of being a collector. You don't really have to worry about, like, I don't care what the value is. The value to me is a lot more than a monetary what I could sell the card for. So I appreciate that this video series gets a lot of interest because most of my subscribers and followers to my channel are more interested in my vintage collection.
Yeah.
So I'll post a Boggs video being excited about showing off some Boggs cards, and those videos actually get the least number of views. Just because, again, I've built my YouTube channel mainly around my vintage collection. I started off with my Boggs collection, then I got into vintage, and that's when I started getting more views and more attention and stuff like that. But I still do a weekly Boggs video where I show off like 7 cards. And I mean, the views, I'm lucky to get maybe 50 views on it. Lucky. Yep. But I don't care. I do the videos. I love showing off Boggs cards. And, maybe through this, there'll be some ones that are more modern collectors or from the 90s. Want to see some rare insert cards that may be interested in some of my Boggs videos. So.
Well, I will link your channel below. I will go and find the videos that you did where you spent the day with Boggs. I'll link that below too, and hopefully that drums up some interest because, like I said, people love seeing the passion, the collector passion out there, and I think that's what drives this series. They're definitely going to see that in this video. So
I actually did. You could you don't have to find it and put a link, but also on my channel, maybe around 3, maybe close to 4 years ago, or 4 years ago, I actually interviewed Wade on my channel. It was about a half-hour interview, and believe it or not, it has just under 1,000 views. Where I have other videos where I talk about something else or whatever like that, and I'll get like 1,500 views. But here's me interviewing Wade Boggs on my channel. And it doesn't, but I don't care. It's just something that is always out there now. And I always have a memory of seeing that video and we talk about cards. It's not about the Hall of Fame or his career. We talk about collecting and memorabilia and ask him stuff about cards and signing cards and different things. And so it's all hobby related, the interview. So I found it, just amazing that he would go on my YouTube channel. He's like, yeah, I'll do that. And okay,
that is just amazing. If I know you said that he follows you on X and likes some of your posts. I don't know if he'll see this video. If he does, hi Wade. Thank you very much for treating all of the collectors and everyone you come across with what sounds like to be a lot of respect, and that's very admirable. So. You've made more of a Wade Boggs fan out of me. So I mostly know about the beer story and that's
and eating chicken, Chicken Man and Miller Lights. That's what a lot of people and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is the beers on the flight and all that stuff. He gets a lot of that. So I'll post something and someone will put in the comments R.I.P.
Yeah,
because of the Always Sunny episode and getting pantsed on Cheers. And so he's had a couple mini acting roles and stuff like that. So
and that's little cameos. That's sweet. Well, John, thank you very much for taking the time to share your passion for your Wade Boggs collection. And, again, so many cool items. We didn't even really touch on too much like up close of the memorabilia and stuff. But if anyone wants to see that, it'll be on John's channel. Again, that'll be linked below. But thank you very much. And any closing words for you?
No, just again, whether it's a player, collector, modern, vintage, whatever, hopefully all of you out there who do collect, find an area that you're passionate about, and you'll have such fun on the hobby. You'll meet some great people, maybe even meet the athlete that you collect one day, and hope it's a good experience. But there's so many ways to enjoy this hobby and find your own little niche. It may not be a player collector, maybe a set, a decade, a sport, whatever. Find that little niche that you have a passion about, and you're just going to have a great time.
Agreed. Very well said. I don't have anything else really to add, but Thank you very much for watching. And, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. And until next time, live free, dream big.